إن الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. So I want to show you guys something, okay? Just give me 1 second. I want to show you guys something. So here we have ICNA. ICNA has been around for a long time, Islamic Circle of North America. Ikhwani, okay? Ikhwani. They've been around from as far as I can remember, since the time, almost the time that I've been Muslim. Look at this. Look, they have outreach programs, okay? Dawa outreach, all kinds of different programs, actually, social services. If you look here, this is ICNA, okay? You can see they have relief funds. And if you go over here, we have ISNA, another Ikhwani organization, right? Ikhwani Muslimin, right? Them too, they've been around for a very, very long time. Look what they have here. You have different, hold on, let me get like news events. Where are we here? Oh, here we go. Programs and services. Khatib schedule, Ramadan, very organized funeral services, halakas, all kinds of stuff. Matrimonial services, many different activities for the Muslims. Ikhwani Muslimin, okay? Okay? Zaytuna College, okay? I repeat, Zaytuna College. College. This one is from, as you know, Hamza Yusuf, right? A full-fledged college. Okay, Hamza Yusuf. And recently we have a Bayina Institute. Okay, Bayina Institute. Again, trying to give Zaytuna College a run for its money. Okay, Zaytuna College is a Sufi place, right? Hamza Yusuf has been studying this working on this for a very long time, right? But they're much newer than ISNA and ICNA, of course. And he's got a lot of pull. Bayina Institute, very recent, and you can see Nu'man Ali Khan. He has on his site the beginnings and all this. This is Nu'man Ali Khan's thing, right? So anyway, why am I showing you all of this stuff? Why? Well, the reason why is because I have a question, and the question is, where's ours? Where are our centers, Ya Salafiyun? And the answer is, at least here in North America, I don't know how it is in Britain, but here in North America, we don't have any. We don't have anything like that. And why is that? You want to know why? Because of the Fitna Factory. What's the Fitna Factory? Every time we get a Talib Alim, we shut them down with the quickness. That's the Fitna Factory. We could have done a better job at building centers than Al-Huda, for sure, 100%. How do I know? Because when I became Salafi, the dawah was extremely strong. And those same people, like, for example, Hamza Yusuf, they were hiding. I remember when Hamza Yusuf, he came to Toronto, and this was way back in the 90s. Oh, I want to see either late 90s or early 2000s, one of the two, right? Or even mid 90s, right? But he was hiding back in those days, okay? Because the Salafis were growing, right? And basically what happened was he came to Toronto. I went to go see his lecture, right? Because we started hearing that Hamza Yusuf is Sufi. That's what we started hearing. So I swear by Allah, the question answer period came, and my question was the first one. You have to write down your questions and send them up to the front. So I wrote down my question, and wallahi, my question was the first one to get asked. Okay, so I said, it was like very respectful the way I laid out the question. We've been listening to you for a long time, and I like your lectures, and we really respect you. So I respectfully ask you, are you a Sufi? And the way he read it, he's reading the question, goes, so I respectfully ask you, are you a Sufi? Wallahi. He read it just like that, okay? And he said, well, no, I'm not a Sufi. You know how he speaks, right? He's giving us his answer, right? The next question, are you a Sufi? No, I'm not a Sufi. But same type of thing, right? The third question, the people are saying that you're Sufi and blah, blah. He goes, no, I'm not a Sufi. I'm not a Sufi. Wallahi, he started like this, right? But turns Turns out he was a Sufi, right? Why did he come out? Because the Salafis started refuting themselves. That's all that happened. Instead of focusing on Ahlul Bid'ah, we started focusing our attention on ourselves. So imagine all these years they passed by, right? And just like that, even if you look at Nu'man Ali Khan, he came out of nowhere, just out of nowhere. He wasn't worried about us, you know. He wasn't worried about no refutations about Nu'man Ali Khan and you know, the refutation of Nu'man Ali Khan in the Quran. He wouldn't care about us. He built his center, right? Why did nobody care? Nobody cared because we started refuting ourselves, and all those refutations didn't carry as much weight anymore because people pretty much put us in the same box, saying that all we care about is refuting each other. So they stopped listening to us. So now, if I take my child to learn Quran from, example, Jamaat Tabligh, right? You know what the people will say about me? You already know. You know what they'll say about me. You know what they'll start spreading about me? You know what they'll spread about me. Right? They'll start saying, you're going with Ahlul Bid'ah, and you're learning from Ahlul and taking your children, and you're going to go astray and like this. And I'll say, yeah, okay, no problem. Are you going to teach my kids Quran? No, I don't have the ability to do so. Okay, so now my kids, they won't learn Quran because we will get labeled as Ahlul Bid'ah. And we don't have the resources to teach our kids anyway, you know? So now all these centers, they started. And I want to show you something else. Just watch 1 second. Okay, this is Hanafi Fiqh channel. Hanafi Fiqh channel. You can see here, are the prophets alive in the grave? Where is Allah? Salafi common questions. This whole channel basically is dedicated to refuting Ahlul Sunnah. It's Salafiyun. That's what this channel is dedicated to. So I want to ask the brothers something, you Salafis. Who started this channel? If you said the Hanafis started this channel or the Deobandis started this channel, you would be 100% wrong. It was you. You started this channel because you went to these people, these laymen, and you started asking them questions like, where's Allah? Yeah, where's Allah? You don't know where Allah is. You think Allah is everywhere, blah, blah, blah. So now these people, they started this channel as a response to you because instead of teaching them the truth, instead of coming to them and making dawah to them, you went to them with harshness. And they felt boxed in the corner, and now they have this nonsense. Like a lot of the stuff that they say, bro, it's insane, right? But you can't say that they're ignorant because these people know what they're talking about. And if they started this channel and somebody, like so many people, started listening to this channel and they started becoming muqallid. So now it's 2019 and Ramadan is starting. And we as Salafis, we're at like a crossroads here at the West. We've consistently shot ourselves in the foot. We talk a good game. We come up with a bunch of nice, cool catchphrases, stick to the ulama, and when the ulama advise us, you know, how many times have the ulama advised us not to get involved with refutations? Seek knowledge. Go seek knowledge. Go sit with the scholars. Like this. They advise us to do this. But because refutations are cool, you know, we just start doing it and doing it. And next thing you know, we cause more harm than good. And the harm is so big because we concentrated so much on refuting each other that the Ahlul Bid'ah has surpassed us in every single way. Look at the charity programs they have. Look at the schools that they have. Look at they have institutes. And I remember how the Salafi Dawah was growing so fast and strong. I remember those days. And then the fitna came with Abu Hassan Marabi and just got all sacked. Now, back in the day, when the Dawah was strong, in Toronto, we actually had some very, very, very high-powered classes from overseas, right? And I'm going to show you something. All of this is 100% real. Okay, these are some of the classes that we used to have. For example, Abdullah, my wife, personally wrote books of notes, and I'm going to show you stuff. Look at this. This is Quad al-Arba. Look at this. Okay, this was from Al-Basira, where they have intensive courses. Okay. Buluga Maram. Look, Buluga Maram. Look at that. This is Abdullah Al-Wadi. Telelink. Sheikh Mukbil's daughter was teaching this class. Okay? Volume 2. Buluga Maram. Handwritten, my wife. Okay? Bath al-Hathith. Kitab al-Tawheed. Aqeedah al-Wasatiyah. All these classes we had. Aqeedah Tahawiyah. Okay? All of these classes we had. Look at this. Sharh Arba'in al-Nawawi. Okay? Look at that. Look. English. In Arabic text, the matan. Handwritten notes. You can see. Not messing around. Okay? This class was from Abdullah. Again, Abdullah, Sheikh Mukbil's daughter. Okay? We had Sheikh Mukbil's daughters. We had Sheikh Muhammad bin Abdul Wahab Wasabi. Class from him. Right? Oh, look at this. This was actually our class, the men's class, right? This one was from, Sheikh Ahmed Al-Wasabi. This one from Yemen, right? Telelink, right? And then the brother Shakir Kennedy, he took over that class, right? That was for the men's. And we have more. This is not even half of the classes that we had. My wife, mashallah, she personally wrote every single one of these. And she put them in PDF form. And she delivered these PDFs to all the students. And you know why these classes got stopped? I'll tell you why. The Fitna Factory. That's the only reason why these classes got stopped. Right? When Shakir was teaching these classes, and this is a true story, okay, as Allah is my witness, right? This was at Troy back in those days, right? The revival of Islamic Dawa Center, or the reign of Islamic Dawa Center, as it is now, right? And my family was actually one of the core families that went to this center, okay? And one of the brothers had issues with me personally, and he went to the match, right? And he started talking to Shakir, because Shakir was our teacher. He started talking to Shakir and started telling Shakir things about me, right? And the classes got paused because of this brother, right? The sisters' classes, the translator of the class, I'm not going to mention the women's names, right? But the one who was translating the class for the sisters, she was doing a good job, right? There was a sister who was well known in the match, right? And well known to Abdullah, right? Who had something in her heart against the sister that was translating, right? The classes were going on and on and on, and this sister was trying to butt in to be the translator for these classes, right? And that sister who was originally translating, and she called it she called it. She goes, if that sister takes this class, it's not going to last. You watch. And she called it to a T perfectly. That sister translated like one or two classes, and that was it. No more classes. No more classes. Why? Because of the Fitna Factory. And we, as Salafis, we let this happen because nobody wants to ask any questions, and everybody's too afraid to speak. You're too afraid for somebody to come and rub you out and bring the PDF about you and like this. You should be afraid of Allah. If you're afraid of Allah more than the people, then these things will not happen. And that's the problem. You know, we Salafis, we always have these catchphrases, right? Not we Salafis, but you'll find the Sa'afika, for example, the ones who are doing these refugees. We have to be open. Me, I'm going to be completely open. I'm not going to hide or pull any punches, like straight up. Because these people, they need to be stopped because they are literally killing the Dawah. They've killed the Dawah for over 20 years. We don't have schools. We don't have social services for kids. We don't have charities. All we have is, who ahlul bid'ah, who اجلس مع اهل البدع. هذا رجل ما جالس مع أهل السنة. That's what we have. Right? This man, he sits with the people of bid'ah, the people of innovations. You know, he doesn't sit with the people of sunnah. Who are the people of sunnah? Spubs, Abu Khadija, Abu Hakim Bilal Davis, what you call it, Hassan Somali, Abu Hassan Malik. These are the people of sunnah. And outside of that, there's no people of sunnah. Are you kidding me? You guys need to think. You guys need to think. The ulama are not saying this. As a matter of fact, the ulama have clearly spoken against these people. And that was years ago. And you're still stuck on this. And the quicker that we get away from this, and that's why this Ramadan, this is what I want the brothers to get out of this. This Fitna Factory, inshallah, after this Ramadan, inshallah, we are tearing down this Fitna Factory. We're going to follow the sunnah in uniting and being brothers. Inshallah, this is what I hope. You know, there's the idea that we are Ta'ifa Mansura, right? We are Ta'ifa Mansura. You know, Sheikh Uthaymeen Raheema Hullah, I'm going to put the link, inshallah, so that everybody can hear this, right? Me, I call myself Salafi, yes, but not because it's a group. I call myself Salafi because of the manhaj. I call myself Salafi because I believe in following the Quran and the Sunnah with the methodology of the Salafi. That's it. If the people start thinking that it's a group, it's no problem. I don't need to call myself Salafi. Why? The masjid I go to right now, my local masjid, is a Sufi masjid. You think I can go in there and say, Antum Mahlul Bid'ah? Come on, man. I can't even tell them that I'm a Salafi, but every single time I go, I swear by Allah, every single time I go, I just call the people to the Sunnah. I call the people to the Sunnah. That's it. Without mentioning Sufi, Salafi, nothing. And the people, they listen. Because they're Masakin. They never heard about Salafiyah before. They don't know. And we're not talking about like ranking, we're talking about extreme Sufis. Like big time Sufis. Right? Now you're going to tell me, oh, you're sitting Ahlul Bid'ah, or whoever sits with Ahlul Bid'ah is of them. Come on, man. Come on. That's for later. Straight up. It's not going to work anymore. This stuff, this type of keeping the Salafiyun down, it's not going to work anymore. Wallahi, today I read on a comment from the internet. Some brother, he was like, and Muhammad Ali, the boxer, Muhammad Ali, he was a Sufi, and he was doing magic, and he was doing this, and he was doing that, and he's a Zani, and blah, blah, blah. And like, yeah, the man is mad, he's dead. The writer of the Muslims say, Rahimahullah, did he die as a Muslim, yes or no? Why are you talking about the man? First of all, if you believe he's Sufi, why are you attacking him? Why don't you go to Jalaluddin Rumi or something? The heads of the Sufi, like Hisham Kabani. Go to the heads of the Sufi and refute them. Muhammad Ali is a boxer. The Sa'afika, honestly, I don't affiliate myself with them because already they've been refuted. They've been refuted by name. Sheikh Wasi Allah Abbas has spoken about them. Sheikh Muhammad Al-Madkhali has spoken about them. Sheikh Osama Utaybi has spoken about them. Sheikh Saleh Suhaimi has spoken about them. Like, how many should you have to come out against them, bro? How many? What are you guys waiting for, right? But anyway, I have a prediction. What will happen is that what will eventually happen is that people will just leave them. And they will actually be their own group, because the first one to speak about them clearly was Sheikh Wasila Abbas. And now you have more and more ulama coming out against them. So they'll be left alone. So you can be, you can get on the Salafi dawah, the real Salafi dawah, or you can be stuck with those people. Straight up, And I want to leave you with this. Because we keep destroying ourselves, Back in the day, for example, Abdullah Hakim Quick, he said that he's a Salafi in Aqidah, but not Salafi in Manhaj. Okay, type. Right? Some brothers, they refuted him for saying this statement, right? Without knowing the amount of work and hard effort that this man had put into the Muslim community, and how the people loved him for the work that he did for the Muslims. This man, he had a social services network. He was doing social services for Muslims, for example, young girls who would get raped, Muslim men who were homosexual, these type of things, right? He was providing like an invaluable service for the Muslim community for things that they were stigmatized in, fathers molesting their daughters and all kinds of stuff, like this brother, he was handling those things, right? And then all of a sudden, he made this statement: I follow the Salafi and Aqidah, but not in Manhaj, right? And years later, I can see what he meant by saying that, because Yasser Qadi, he said the same thing. I don't believe Yasser Qadi is from Ahlul Sunnah, but I understand where he's coming from. Let's be real. Let's be real. And I don't agree with much of what he says. I don't agree with him, basically giving the Rafida Shia, whatchamacallit, some sort of legitimacy. I believe that is totally incorrect. Totally. No matter how you cut that cookie, right? And it's enough to see him as Ahlul Bidah for sure, right? That's enough, right? However, if you want to know the truth about yourself, you have to, listen to what your enemies say about you, because they're generally not gonna lie about you. In general, they're gonna tell you about your parts. Bilal Phillips, wallahi, Bilal Phillips, back in the day, right? He was the first one to write books about the correct Aqidah. The very first one. He was the first one to say to follow the likes of the Shuyukh like Sheikh Albani and like this. Bilal Phillips, the very first one, right? And then what happened was, again, spubs again. They called Sheikh, who's the Sheikh? Sheikh Ubaid al-Jabri, about Bilal Phillips. He made this cassette. They asked him some general questions. And years after that, because I was like on the bandwagon back then as well, right? Years after that, I listened to the cassette of Sheikh Ubaid, and he didn't mention Bilal Phillips by name, right? And they destroyed the Bilal Phillips and Abdul Hakim Quick. But let me tell you something about Bilal Phillips and Abdul Hakim Quick. There is nothing that anybody can say about their reputation. Abdul Hakim Quick has been married to the same woman for I can't, and he has 9 kids. Never involved in any scandal. This man escaped from the Black Panthers. Okay, when escaped from the FBI when they were killing the Black Panthers, because he was in that movement, and he had to escape to Canada to avoid from being killed. You don't know this stuff. You don't know the history of these people. You're just quick to kick them out of the Manhaj, right? Abdullah Queen Cook, I don't think he's Salafi for sure. I don't believe he's Salafi. But Bilal is a different story. He studied with Sheikh Albani, right? And let's say, for example, that he did mention some praise about Sayyid Qutb. Who do you know that becomes Qutbi from the Tariq of Bilal Phillips? Who? Name one person. Abu Muslim, another one. That story is very sad because he had a massive masjid in East Orange, right? But again, Abu Osama, another one. Siraj Wahaj. Siraj Wahaj, when we were Muslim, Siraj Wahaj was like one of the first people. I don't know anybody actually older than Siraj Wahaj, but I'm just thinking about on the top of my head, who was actually preaching about Islam, like real Islam. Not Nation of Islam, not Sufi. And yes, he's Ikhwani, yes, right? But back in those days, there was nobody and you're talking about late 70s, 80s, like this. There was nothing. There was nobody. Like nobody, right? So even if you say, for example, Abdul Hakim Quick or Siraj Wahaj are not Salafi, okay, I can accept that. But you have to have respect for these people because they were doing it when nobody was doing it. Mufti Munir, why are people refuting him for what? Really, I saw some of the refutations, weak, Weak. Shadid Muhammad, what he said, and it's funny because now I'm thinking about it. Every person I'm mentioning right now, they are actually black, and all of them got thrown off the minhaj, right? And I'm trying to think of who else, that was on it, and not. They're all black people. He spoke the truth on that. And when the first time I heard about Shadid Muhammad actually was from a refutation. I didn't know who he was at all, right? And to be honest, I don't listen to his lectures. I listened to maybe one or two of his lectures, and that was it, right? So I listened to this refutation. You know what they're refuting him on? He took his family to watch Spider-Man in Trinidad. That was the refutation. I was like, what is this? This is what refutations have become now? Watching movies? You know how many Salafists I know that watch movies? It's a joke. And of course, Sheikh Tahir Wyatt. This is gonna burn some people. Sheikh Tahir Wyatt. Ain't nothing you can do about that one, bro. Nothing. Right? Bring your refutations. Bring your, he spoke with Nation of Islam. So what? So what he spoke with Nation of Islam? Big deal. Right? Was he teaching that the black man is God when he did that interview? Was he teaching the white man is the devil when he did that interview? You know how many people became Muslim because of Siraj Wahaj? He was in the Nation of Islam, from the Nation of Islam, and from Wahdi Muhammad. You know how many people, and he's still Siraj Wahaj, he keeps relations with them. So now Tahir Wyatt, he's doing the same thing. Those people who are refuting the Nation of Islam, we know that they're not Muslim. Yeah, we understand that. Nobody's going to say that the Nation of Islam is Muslim, right? However, they are doing some incredible work in the black community. And so many people, including myself, became Muslim because of the Nation of Islam. They came Muslim through that tariq. So when you are telling me, someone like me, who became Muslim through that way, a Nation of Islam, that Sheikh Tahir Wyatt, don't forget Sheikh Tahir Wyatt, teaching in Medina, ain't nothing you can do about that. Burn yourself. Burn yourself. When you're telling me that Sheikh Tahir Wyatt is not fit to make dawa because he's talking to the Nation of Islam, you're crazy. You're crazy. You don't understand how many people became real Muslims because a sheikh talked to the Nation of Islam. And if you knew, you would just... So burn yourself. Anyway, Ramadan is coming up. This is why I'm making this video, right? The fitna has to stop. And this will probably be my last video on fitna, right? After this, you guys can say what you want about me. Don't bother me. It doesn't make a difference to me, really, to be honest, right? I'm not afraid of people, right? I can't be afraid of people. I can't be afraid of their opinions, right? I'm afraid of Allah, yes, right? But this is the truth. The truth has to, be manifest. And the truth is that the Fitna Factory must be torn down. The Fitna Factory must be torn down because the Fitna Factory is preventing us from moving ahead. The Fitna Factory is stifling the Salafi dawa in the West. It's not like how it was in the past because everybody's at each other's throat. When they don't find anybody to refute, they're refuting themselves. And the religion, the deen, is for Allah. Right? The Prophet ﷺ, he used to say, "Ma yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu, wa ma yudlil fala hadiya lahu." Whoever Allah guides, nobody can lead that person astray. And whoever Allah has led astray, nobody can guide that person. We're not going to guide the people, ya akhi. Call the people to the truth, they will accept the truth. If you call the people to the truth, they accept the truth. The dawah is the truth. People want this dawah. They want it. What they don't want is bad manners, right? You talking about their brothers, their husbands, their fathers, like they're nothing. The reputations that I've read about on Yusuf Estes, for example, are embarrassing, and they should not have been done. Like, especially like that, an old man like that. Are you kidding me? And that's why the people look at the Salafis with contempt. And we're not going to be silent about that anymore. We're just not. We're going to protect the honor of the Muslims. That's what we're going to do. You don't like it? No problem. Come after us. Come after us. Because we're going to protect the honor of the Muslims, right? If someone from Ahlul Bidah needs to be refuted, no problem. We'll call the ulama. Ya Sheikh, we have a question. This person says this and such a thing, and the people are believing such and such a thing. We'll follow the madhab of the Salaf in doing that. And we're not going to leave. And all the young people who think that they can refute people and, oh, Ali Dawa, he's sitting with the people and calling the people to Yusuf Estes. What? Yusuf Estes? Yeah, Yusuf Estes, he's calling kuffar to Islam. Who's going to sit under feet of Yusuf Estes to learn Islam? Who does that? Am I going to sit? Do you think Yusuf Estes has anything to teach me? You think Yusuf Estes has anything to teach my Muslim kids? What does he have to teach them? He can teach us how to make dawah to non-Muslims, yes, right? But he's going to teach us Aqidah, Quran, fiqh, a hadith. What he's going to teach us? Come on, get real. If we're going to learn Aqidah, we're going to learn it from an Aqidah teacher. If we're going to learn hadith, we're going to learn it from a hadith teacher. Yusuf Estes has mistakes. Yes, he has a mistake with the creation of Quran. Yes, for sure, 100%. Right? But now he's Ahlul Bid'ah and don't listen to him. You know who's Ahlul Bid'ah? Shabir Ali. Why don't you refute him? It's like straight up. Straight up. He's popular. Right? Go refute Shabir Ali. You know how many brilliant statements this man makes? He himself saying that we have to reject the hadith of like so many different hadith we have to reject. For example, the woman not having the intellect, like the correct intellect. We have to reject these hadith because we don't know where they're coming. This is his reasoning behind that. Refute him. He's a doctor. He's one of the heads of Ahlul Bid'ah. Mu'tazili. Straight up. Like straight up Mu'tazili. Anyways, at the end of the day, if you have a fly in your house, and you want to kill that fly, the fly is buzzing around and is annoying you, right? You take a fly swatter and you smack it. You don't go and get a machine gun and try to shoot the fly with a machine gun in your house. That's what you do with these refutations. Instead of fixing the mistake, okay, what the brother said over here in this part, it's incorrect because of this and this and this, and here's the ayah and here's the hadith. This is you guys. هو قال مداخلة هو كل مداخلة هو whatever تكفيري هو حزبي هو كذاب منافق يا كذاب يا منافق. What is that, man? You like all guns blazing on this small issue. Be real, man. I hope this doesn't go on deaf ears, and this Ramadan, after we have made our ibadah and we've been selfish in our ibadah and getting closer to Allah, that we can be brothers and we can actually do something to help the Salafis and the Muslims and the people and the kuffar and those who believe and those who disbelieve. We can help them in Islam. We can help them towards Tawheed with ikhlas and good manners and like this. And this is my hope and this is my dream. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وأشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت وأستغفرك وأتوب إليك.